Imagine it's the early 1990s. The Cold War has ended, the internet is still a mysterious new frontier, and only a few truly understand what it's capable of. In a small apartment in St. Petersburg, Russia, a man sits before a bulky computer. The monitor glows green against the dim light. He dials a number on his modem and waits for the shriek of connection. Thousands of miles away, in New York City, one of the world's largest banks hums quietly in the background of global finance. In that moment, through a single digital link, those two worlds collide. That man was Vladimir Levin, the hacker who stole millions of dollars before most people had ever logged onto the internet. This is the story of the first major online bank heist, a story that changed how the world thought about security, money, and digital trust. In 1994, Citibank was a symbol of power and innovation. It had just launched a system called Citibank Cash Management, allowing corporate clients to transfer funds electronically through phone lines. It was revolutionary, but also dangerously naive. Passwords were sent in plain text over unsecured lines. There were no firewalls, no encryption, no two-factor authentication. To Citibank, it was the future. To Vladimir Levin, it was an open door. It started quietly. In July 1994, Citibank's security team noticed strange transactions on a few corporate accounts. At first, they looked like errors, small discrepancies. But soon, hundreds of thousands of dollars were vanishing at a time, moved into accounts across several countries. Over 40 transfers were made, totaling more than $10 million. The stolen money scattered through accounts in Finland, Israel, the Netherlands, Germany, and the US. Some transfers were stopped. Others disappeared forever. For Citibank, this wasn't a thief in a ski mask. This was a ghost in the machine. The FBI joined in, and the trail led somewhere unexpected. Russia. The hacker wasn't in New York at all. He was dialing in remotely, using stolen login credentials. His name was Vladimir Levin, a 27-year-old mathematician from St. Petersburg. Levin had studied biochemistry but was drawn to computers. He worked at a small software firm, AO Saturn, where he had rare access to a modem and time to experiment. From that modest office, he infiltrated one of the world's most powerful banks. How he got in remains uncertain. Some say he hacked Citibank directly. Others claim he bought stolen login data from other hackers for just $100. Either way, he had what he needed: a username, a password, and the skill to use them. For months, he carefully transferred funds from Citibank's corporate clients into accounts under fake names. It was slow, deliberate, and invisible. But no heist lasts forever. The first break came when a woman in San Francisco tried to withdraw a large sum from one of the linked accounts. Authorities arrested her, and through her, uncovered a network of couriers tied to Russia. The FBI, Interpol, and British police worked together, following phone logs and transaction trails. Every clue pointed to one man: Vladimir Levin. In March 1995, Levin was arrested at London's Stansted Airport. He had no weapons, no disguise, just a briefcase, a laptop, and the calm of someone who'd already changed history. It was one of the world's first arrests for a crime committed entirely through computer networks. Citibank confirmed that more than $10 million were targeted, though the bank claimed to recover nearly everything, except about $400,000 that vanished for good. After years of legal battles, Levin was extradited to the US in 1998. He pleaded guilty to conspiracy to defraud and was sentenced to 3 years in prison, with $240,000 in restitution. The punishment seemed small compared to the magnitude of the crime. But Levin's case wasn't about how much he stole. It was about what he proved possible. The Citibank hack sent shockwaves through the financial world. Banks everywhere rushed to strengthen security, encrypting systems, using authentication devices, and adding multiple verification layers. Cybersecurity was no longer optional. Still, questions lingered. Was Levin truly the mastermind? Or just a middleman who bought the access and executed someone else's plan? Years later, Russian hackers claimed Levin didn't breach Citibank himself. He simply bought the data and capitalized on it. If that's true, then he wasn't a genius hacker. just the first to turn stolen information into global money. After his release, Levin disappeared. No interviews, no memoirs, no online trace. Some say he returned to Russia and lived quietly. Others believe he died years later. Whatever the truth, his name became legend, the man who robbed a bank without leaving his chair. The story of Vladimir Levin marks the birth of cybercrime. Before him, banks worried about vaults and robbers. After him, they worried about passwords and code. When the story hit the news, people were terrified. If Citibank could be hacked, who was safe? The headlines called it the first online bank robbery. And it was true, it changed everything. But Levin's real legacy wasn't the money he took, it was the fear he revealed. The Citibank hack exposed how fragile our digital systems truly were. Technology had advanced faster than security, and that gap became the perfect place for criminals to thrive. 30 years later, the same principles he exploited still echo through the cyber world: stolen credentials, unencrypted data, remote access. Only now, the numbers are in billions. Every time you log into your bank app or get a text verification code, you're seeing a direct result of the lessons learned in 1994. Citibank's failure became the foundation of modern cybersecurity. Back then, what Levin did seemed like magic. One man, one modem, and millions of dollars transferred across continents. No guns, no alarms, just code. He didn't just rob a bank. He robbed the illusion that digital systems were safe. Vladimir Levin proved that distance no longer mattered, that one person could reach into another's world through invisible lines. He showed how the definition of crime itself was evolving. The Citibank hack wasn't just the first of its kind. It was a warning, a signal that the rules of money, power, and security had changed forever. Levin may have faded into obscurity, but his fingerprints remain on every encrypted system, every password reset, and every digital firewall we use today. Because before the internet became our reality, one man tested its limits, and the world has never been the same since. This is Crimes Unknown, where cold cases refuse to stay buried. Subscribe and turn on notifications for more haunting mysteries. And don't forget to like the video to support real crime stories that deserve to be heard. Drop your theories in the comments.